So we now begin to realize something very interesting. I have mentioned many times the saga or the story of Trump and so on, right? The concept that Esav wanted to do tshuva. We know the story. I have mentioned it many times. He wanted to do tshuva, but Yaakov Avinu didn't realize that, so he went back to his old ways. So because Esav wanted to do tshuva, the Baruch Shem said, in the end of time, you will do tshuva. You will go back to your original role of Rav Yavo Itzoya, that the older will serve the younger, you see, which means that you will actually assist whoever the Mashiach ben Yosef is, you will assist that person, you see. So that is what Trump, and based on all of this, that Esav will return to assist the Mashiach ben Yosef in bringing the redemption. I stated that that is Trump's role, that Trump in many ways is a Gilgal, as far as I'm concerned. Trump is a Gilgal of Esav himself, you see. And therefore I predicted years already that he would win. Not only that he would win, right, but that he would change, he would combat evil. He's the Tov Shebe Esav, he's a good part of Esav, doing tshuva, and he will combat the evil of Esav, the real evil of Esav, which of course is the Democratic Party and the whole former administrations and so on, and that he would combat them, and it all happened. Everything is basically coming true, what I had predicted, based on these ideas and so on, you know. So that is a very important concept, you see. By the way, and that's who Trump is. Of course he's not Jewish. He's not Mashiach ben Yosef, but his job is Rav Yavo Itzoya. His job is to assist Mashiach ben Yosef, you see, in order to bring the Geula. What's amazing is that that's exactly what he's doing and so on. By the way, what's interesting, and we've never seen that, Trump is the most powerful president we've ever seen. Everybody shakes at Trump. Everybody wants to see this man. I mean, even before he became president, everybody was going to Mar-a-Lago. It was incredible. That was the White House. They all abandoned Biden, and they're all going to Trump and so on, you see. Because, so the question is, what is this? We've never seen this type of homage applied to a president. I mean, a president is a very powerful figure, but this is way out of the ordinary. Everybody was running to see Trump. Not only that, nobody wants to oppose him. Everybody's afraid of him, you see. So the question then is what does this all mean? And what is very interesting, if you think about it, there's a chazal that say that a person should always run to see, right, a king of the Goyim, and to see the honor, the dignity that is bestowed on a king. Why? Because this is nothing compared to the honor and dignity and glory that will be bestowed on the Mashiach. And therefore, if you want to get an inkling, a glimpse in terms of what will be, you should run to see royalty and the beauty, the incredible honor that is given to them, you know. You get a glimpse of it, not here in America, but in England, where you have the royalty and so on, you know. The tremendous honor that was bestowed to Elizabeth and so on, you know, and how the royalty is treated and so on. But that's a very weak form, because it's really it's a constitutional monarchy and so on, you know. But the honor that will be given to a king, if you want to see what it's going to be like by the Mashiach himself, you should run to see royalty among kings. You probably can get a real taste of that. You know, somebody like Louis XIV. I mean, he was like incredible. I mean, how he was king of France for 70 years or something like that. But the honor that was given to him, you know, I was once in Versailles. I wanted to go in France, you know. So, you know, you figure Versailles, it's nice, it's a palace. You have no idea of what that building is. If you are in France, check out Versailles, which is right outside of Paris and so on and so forth. You can't believe the grounds are incredible. And the palace is beyond belief, you know. And who was this guy really when you think about that? And so on, you know. But you realize that the treatment that he got was off the charts. So Chazal tell us, if you want to have an inkling, a sample of that type of glory, check out a Goyish king. And from that you could begin to think about what the Mashiach, the Melech HaMashiach, will receive, and so on, you see. So therefore, if you now think about that, well, if Trump's job is Messianic, even though he's not Jewish, but he's a Messianic figure, he's a Mashiach ben Edom, right? an Edomite Messianic figure to assist Mashiach ben Yosef and so on and so forth. So he automatically, that glory, that incredible homage will be applied to him, will also be Messianic, right? And that's the understanding of what's happening, because his job is to assist Mashiach ben Yosef in terms of combating evil, because that's really what his job is and so on, to combat evil, to reveal it for what it is, you see. Therefore, that type of glory rubs off on him, right? That's why we're looking at something that's never happened like this. The president should have such an honor, such an incredible, majesty and so on. Yes, because he's not just the president. He's a president acting in the manner of a messianic figure, right? Esav doing tshuva. That's where that comes from, you see. But you could see also that the characteristics of Trump is what assigns him this role. Look, the Russia made him rich, so he's not afraid of anybody. He has tremendous amount of money, and he has the confidence that goes with people who are very rich, Not only that, he has a trait of being tremendously defiant. He's defiant. He does what he wants. He says what he wants. He's not afraid. He has that characteristic, which is an essential feature of somebody who's going to fight evil, you see. Also tremendous courage. He's bright. He has almost unlimited energy, you see. He has tremendous amount of energy. All of this is a divine gift, because that's his role, is to fight evil, right? To expose it. And that's fundamentally what he's doing. He's also very successful. Even where he failed, that was basically to teach him a lesson. But he's been a very successful, he's world known. He's among the most famous people of all time, if you really think about that, and so on, And also miracles happened to him. The fact that he was saved twice from an assassin's bullet is incredible when you think about that, Because he probably is a Gilgal of Esau. That's what he is basically, you see. And that's why I say that Aschalta de Gula started. He is the Esav that has to do tshuva and combat evil, which when you think about that is very, very interesting and so on. And like I say, his job based on the divine plan is to expose evil and so on, you see. But it's not only to expose evil, it's to expose evildoers. Who are the ones who do it, you see? And also how the depths of evil, which is being exposed now with this new program called Doge. So what the Rebbe has done is he has given him two interesting groups. The first group is his cabinet. He has had tremendous success in all his cabinet selections have been chosen. Because in order for him to be successful, he needs men of courage, including Tulsi Gabbard and so on, people of tremendous skill, assertiveness, aggressiveness, that really are sincere about changing America. How many times as a cabinet figure, a nobody, right? He's weak, he's timid, but all the guys that he's picked, you can go through them, all of these guys are top-notch guys. That requires tremendous amount of siyata d'shmaya, divine assistance, to have the right team, because that's what his job is. So that's what the Rebbe has done. But there's something else that I want to mention, which I believe to be very true, and in a certain sense, shocking. If there are two Mashiach ben Yosefs, right? So if Trump is a messianic figure, right, and he is an assistant to the Mashiach ben Yosef, he also has to have two people. Who was the second guy? And I venture to say, it's going to be shocking, Elon Musk. You don't realize what Elon Musk is, There are so many people that hate him. That itself is messianic, and so on. Elon Musk is very interesting. Do you have any idea? He's the world's richest man, $450 billion. That is unheard of in the annals of history, right? $450 billion. He's certainly the richest man in the world. He's probably the richest man who ever lived. You don't get that kind of money unless it's been divinely ordained. Why would God give this guy this type of wealth? Not only that, when you look at Elon Musk, okay, you realize it's incredible, what Elon Musk is. His character is incredible. He's defiant, very bright, defiant, right? Not only that, he can transmit whatever he wants. He owns Twitter, right? He actually owns Twitter, you see? And not only that, not only does he have that characteristic, right? And he's wealthy and so on, but he's incredibly successful, you see. And he's willing to go through campaign and he's dedicated to do what? What he's doing is astounding. His Doge is destroying the Democratic Party. It's what it's doing. So not only is it destroying the Democratic Party, he now has the idea there are many Democrats, core Democrats, that are worth hundreds of millions of dollars. But all they make, I'll give you one example, Nancy Pelosi. She makes, I don't know, $300,000 a year from a salary. Yet she's worth $200 million. So the question is, excuse me, where do you get $200 million from a salary? You know, where does this come from? So obviously it probably means that she has insider trading. I mean, I believe so. I don't know for sure. But he's now going to investigate her. Then you have Schumer. Then you have other guys who are worth fortunes in money, and they only make, what do they make, $200,000 as a salary? Biden, they say he's worth $40 million. And what's his salary? $400,000 a year? How is that possible? So he is now going to investigate the doers, the Democratic Party doers, the people who are the principles of the Democratic Party. And then his investigation of U.S. aid. People cannot believe $40 billion on what? It's like beyond belief what these people have spent it on. I don't want to go through the list. You can't even believe the list, you know, what they spent millions of dollars on nonsense, billions of dollars on nonsense. How many people in America would have benefited from all that money? You know, especially the people that were hit in the hurricane region and so on, and the earthquakes, whatever, and so on. How many people could have used that money and they give it away to those countries that do nothing? They gave how many millions of dollars of tourism in Egypt? What, America doesn't deserve this? I don't want to go into all the incredible thing what U.S. aid has done. But one thing, what Elon Musk has exposed is not only the doers themselves, the principles themselves, you know, but also in terms of what they've done is outlandish, outrageous. And really, in my opinion, it's a criminal enterprise. That's what people are waking up to. And the incredible thing is they're all trying to defend their actions. You know, no, what do you mean? You're not supposed to change. You can't look at the records and so on. I mean, people cannot believe, what are you doing? You're fighting a guy who wants to save taxpayers trillions of dollars when America anyway is in a very dangerous position because of the debt. Do you know that the debt, that the payment that America pays every year in interest is $1 trillion? Imagine paying interest, $1 trillion. Do you know what $1 trillion is? No, it's a word. But I'll tell you, if I had $100 bills and I had a stack of $1 million, that stack would be 40 inches. That's all. 40 inches, $100 bills to equal $1 million. How high would that stack be if instead of the $100, instead of, right, a million, it would be $1 trillion. And the answer is 674 miles. That's how high the stack would be of $100 bills if it was $1 trillion. Could you imagine that America owes $36 trillion? And every year it goes up by another $2 or $3 trillion. America cannot sustain that. They will go bankrupt. The world will no longer look at the dollar as the reserve currency and so on. America is in a very dangerous position economically. So this is what they're doing to the American dollar. It's just beyond belief. It looks clearly, in my opinion, no question about that, the Democratic Party is a criminal enterprise. It's always been that way. Certainly now this way and so on, you see. And people realize that and so on. So Musk is exposing the unbelievable evil. He's not exposing the evil of a particular person only. He's talking about the Democratic Party. He's exposing the evil of an entire group of people. That's Messianic, right? But it's him and Trump. And what you notice about both of these guys is they work together, even though both of them are very strong personalities, you see. And it would seem, therefore, that Elon Musk is the second Mashiach ben Yosef of Edom, right? Just like Trump is of Edom, Elon Musk is probably the second one. And together, they are working together, which is absolutely beyond belief, and how well it's working out and so on, you see. In any case, so these are very important ideas. So we realize what they are doing is not just destroying or opposing an individual member of the Democratic Party. They are ripping to shreds the credibility, the legitimacy of the whole party itself. That's what they're doing. And really, when you think about that, that's exactly what the task is of Mashiach ben Yosef, especially the assistant to Mashiach ben Yosef, which is really what Esav is, which is interesting, so on, So this is is that the depth, the disgrace, and the treachery of the Democratic Party is being revealed totally by Trump and Elon Musk, which is really fascinating when you think about that. So we are watching Aschalta de Gula slowly play out, that Trump and his partner, Shutaf, whatever, Elon Musk, are destroying the principles of the Democratic Party, okay? And he's revealing the extent of chicanery, falsehood, right? And theft of this party and the evil that they've done to the average American taxpayer. I mean, it's beyond belief. One would expect almost that the American people would rise up, right? You have an idea how many years this has been going on and nobody's done anything and so on, They estimate that the amount of fraud, I heard this, the amount of fraud and waste and abuse of Joe Biden in his 4 years has been $1 trillion. Could you imagine that kind of a sum being wasted through fraud, through absolute stupidity and nonsense? Can you imagine what that means? We can't. Really, they should be investigated and thrown in jail, all of them. Because, how do you do that? People have trusted you, the Democratic Party. How do you stab people in the back? It's a mockery. It's a mockery to the average American citizen, right? Who's doing that? Trump and Musk. And I believe those are the two Mashiachim of Edom that is there to assist the Mashiach ben Yosef. Now what he will do, Mashiach ben Yosef, of course, he will handle the Ruchnias, of course. They will remove the evil, and he will and Mashiach ben Yosef, whoever he is, and so on, they will handle the Ruchnias by ending the Golas, by having build the Beis Hamikdash, which will happen before Mashiach ben David. The Gemara actually says that, and so on. They will bring down the Shekhinah, and then you're going to have the Mashiach ben David. You see, because the real task of Mashiach ben Yosef is the revelation of the Nun Shari Bina, the 50 gates of wisdom. That is the Messianic light. That's really what the task of Mashiach ben Yosef is. And like I said, you have one who brings it down, which is the job of Moshe Rabbeinu, and one who transmits it to bring it to people, which is the second Mashiach ben Yosef, and so on. And then Mashiach ben David, he will execute. He's the executor of all this. He's the king. He will run Judaism as an unbelievable nation of prophets. And that's really what's going to happen. So there you are. We are actually seeing, but we don't realize what we're looking at. We are looking at two basic figures, of which is shocking the American people, who is destroying not a member of the Democratic Party. They are destroying the Democratic Party itself, the core sheker. They are exposing the principles as thugs, as conniving scoundrels and so on. And they are exposing, what they've done, how they've made fools of the American citizen, the American taxpayer. I'm not even going into Biden, what he's done. I mean, this man destroyed America. It's going to take years to undo. The evil and the treachery of this person is beyond belief and so on, But the only way that could happen, it's never happened before in that way. People have been exposed, members, and so on. But this is the party itself is being destroyed. And that is Messianic. And that's really the job of Mashiach, of Mashiach ben Yosef. And the one who does it for Mashiach ben Yosef is the Messiah, Mashiach of Edom, the Edomite Messiah, both, which I'm saying, is both Donald Trump and Elon Musk and so on. And now we understand something which I've said before. We can ask a question. Why is Purim 2 days? It's basically one war. If it's one war, there should be 1 day. You commemorate, right? Since the last battle was fought on the 14th, so the 15th becomes Shushan Purim, right? So you have 1 day to celebrate. Why did Chazal make this distinction that there are 2 days to celebrate Purim? That's a very valid question, because we're not talking about many wars. We're doing one war. Just there was fighting in different places, and in Shushan there was another day of fighting. And if you make 2 days, And the answer is that when you level evil, when you destroy evil, you have to be aware of something. And you'll see what I want to say. You have to be aware of the fact that, when you fight evil and you win, who or whom have you won against? So normally you win against a member of the evil group. Fine, groups, movements have evil members. So you fight the members and so on. But what Chazal realized is not only did they fight Persia, the Persians that wanted to kill the Jews, which are, the outlier members of the people that want to kill the Jews, but they've killed also the Haman's family and the Amalekis of Shushan. That is the headquarters of the evil of Haman. But they realized if the Rebbe has allowed us not only to kill the outlying evil people of Amalek, but also that people who hold from Amalek and what he wants to do, but he's also allowed us to kill the core evil, the headquarters itself, then that's a greater form of Nes. And therefore that requires a greater, a second day to commemorate that there are two levels of destruction of evil. One is the members of the evil group itself. Fine. So that's like fighting an army and beating the soldiers. But what happens if you can invade the actual palace and kill the king himself? That's a different level of victory. That's a Nes, a tremendous Nes, because it requires a permission by the Rabbanan Shalom to do that. And that's why you never really hear of Amalek afterwards. That's the last real, time you hear about Amaleki, who's in charge of being able to destroy the Jews and so on, But in any case, that's why they made 2 days. What we are witnessing is something highly unusual, and that's why it's Messianic. We're not witnessing where individual members of the Democratic Party are being vilified and proven to be nothing more than thugs and crooks and so on. See, we are witnessing the destruction of the party itself. That's the headquarters. We are witnessing the destruction of the core principles. These people that have stolen from the American taxpayer, the actual principles, the main operators of the Democratic Party. We are witnessing that, you see. And we are therefore witnessing not only that, but they are being exposed as to what they did. If you want to understand what they did, how do you do that? I mean, where is your responsibility for the money that you've been collecting from the American public? Why do you do this to people? How do you take their money and give it to some country so they can have LGBTQ, whatever they have, right? Plays. For what? How do you, if you look at the roster of things that they gave money to, your blood boils. Because most of them are stupid. They're nonsense. And they have nothing to do with American interests. Nothing. And you realize that America has been had. That's really what it is. That America has been made fools of by a bunch of thugs, criminal enterprise. That's what they're destroying. And this is only the beginning. He's only president for 4 weeks. He's got another, 3 years, and 11 months to go, Trump and so on, That can only happen if it's Messianic, right? And therefore we are witnessing that, the destruction of the Democratic Party, you see. And the one who's doing such an incredible job, of course, is Elon Musk, because Trump said, it's your show, do whatever you want. And he has tremendous, and the beauty of it is that he has one of the most sophisticated social media, Twitter. I mean, he can do whatever and say whatever he wants. Nobody can shut him out, and so on, And Trump also has been granted a tremendous cabinet. That shows you God says to him, do it, destroy this evil party that has destroyed the morals of America, the ethics of America. That's what they have done, And I now give you permission and the wherewithal to destroy them. And that's what's happening, and so on and so forth. And that's why I say the Aschalta de Geula happened on November 5th, and we are watching that. You see, the headquarters of evil, the Democratic Party, thank God Joe Biden is no more, and he will get his reward, in quotes, what he did to the United States. And not only that, what he did to morality, and how much pain and agony and abortions that has been allowed under his jurisdiction and so on. In any case, this is what we're witnessing. So the main thing is, hey, take heart. This is the Messianic process. This isn't just Trump and Elon Musk. This is exactly what the script is. This is exactly what it is. To destroy evil, as I said, to remove evil, you see, right? And to replace it with good. And they're doing it. So that's what you have to focus on. You're watching the Messianic process. But initially, it's by the assistance to the Mashiach ben Yosef. It is being done by the Mashiach ben Edom of Edom. And that's why it will succeed. And that is why the whole world, right, is enraptured because of Trump. And they can't believe what Musk is doing and so on. But they have been granted tremendous siyata d'shmaya to do their job. So, look, we have to in certain ways rejoice that the process has started and it's working. It's being done against the Democratic Party, against evil. Look, Joe Biden is kicked out. He was in tremendous disgrace. And not only him, but that other nobody, Harris. Same thing with her. God has disgraced both of them, you see. And they have to live this down. They were booted out by the American people and so on. And that is a disgrace to both of them for the evil that they've done, certainly to America and so on. We just have to hope that the next phase of this operation is Israel and the Erev Rav. Because what is happening in Israel is terrible. There is a war against Torah itself, okay? Where there's a tremendous opposition to people learning Torah. And like I've said, the public school system in Israel is 1.5 million kids. That's the whole future of Eretz Israel, okay? And they know nothing. Hardly anything about religion is taught in the public schools, which is an unbelievable travesty, you see, of which all these people will be severely punished one day. So we have to hope that this will end and that the Supreme Court, which is really a tremendous rebellion against God and so on, will all be put aside, and the Erev Rav will be not just destroyed, but put aside, or they will become defunct altogether, and that Torah will be restored to Klal Yisrael by Mashiach ben Yosef, whoever that is, and whoever the two people are that will arise and change Klal Yisrael, and so on. Thank you.